just where I grew up in East LA. It was his songs were a big part of our lifestyle at the time.
It affects me in school, at work, in my painting. I'm an artist, so it really gets you like right here.
When I was younger, I was really depressed, so I used to relate more to his stuff. And the times when I didn't want to be spoken to or just leave me alone, it was just listen to him and I'll be fine a few days later.
His music has pulled me a lot of times where I've been depressed or if I'm happy. Any moment, any grieving, any emotion I have, I put on his music and right away it relates to it. It makes me happy, it makes me feel good.
It just touches you in a way that very few other artists do.
In the age of ringtones and digital downloads, there may never be another rock star quite like Morrissey. Nearly 20 years into his solo career, Moz maintains a devoted fan base that continues to grow as new generations discover his witty, brooding brand of rock. Born Stephen Patrick Morrissey to Irish Catholic immigrants, the Manchester, England native wasted little time building his own incomparable legacy after spending 5 years with influential British band The Smiths. In 1988, a year after the band's breakup, Morrissey released Viva Hate, an album that featured two of his biggest hits, Every Day is Like Sunday and Sweathead. He followed with 5 more studio albums over the next decade, penning standout tracks like Tomorrow, The More You Ignore Me, The Closer I Get, and Alma Matters. In the late 90s, the longtime vegetarian moved to Los Angeles and took a break from recording. Morrissey continued to tour, and in 2002, he joined rock and Espanol heavyweights Jaguares on the Revolución concert series, a move that prompted the likes of Spin magazine and the LA Weekly to take notice of his transcendent popularity among Latinos. 7 years after going on hiatus, Morrissey released 2004's You Are the Quarry, an album that solidified his reputation for crafting provocative songs built on angst and a dark sense of humor. In 2006, he released Ringleader of the Tormentors, another well-received release that culminated in this year's 31-date US tour that included 4 shows in San Francisco and 8 shows in his former home of Los Angeles. Join us for an hour with one of the most outspoken, controversial, loved and unforgettable artists in the history of rock, Morrissey.
Los Angeles, you are too hot. You have never been in love until you've seen the stars reflect in the reservoirs. And you have never been in love until you've seen the dawn rise behind the home for the blind. We are the pretty and you're standing on our streets where Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die. Oh my. First of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die. Oh my. You have never been in love until you've seen sunlight from oh, that smashed human bone. We are the pretty and you're standing on our streets where Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die. Oh, such a silly boy. Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, bullets in the first lost life. to go under their sun.
Well, I saw an interview with him not that long ago on TV, and he said that Latino people are very passionate, and we are. And his words, whatever he says, speaks exactly what I think. And I think I'm a very passionate person. I know I'm very emotional. I don't know what else to say. He's everything to me. Oh, since he's here, welcome home. Welcome back to LA. Please stay. Don't go back to Rome. Stay here.
Pasolini is me. Like it's only you will never be. I entered nothing, and nothing entered me, till you came with the key, and you did your best. I live and breathe, you have killed me, yes I walk around somehow, but you have killed me, Piazza Cavour, what the hell is my life for? Visconti is me, and Sexton you could try to be. I entered nothing, and nothing entered me, till you came the key, and you did your best for. But you have killed me, Who am I that I come to be standing here, Roma? As I live and breathe, you have killed me, Yes, I walk around somehow, but you have killed me, There is no point saying this again. There's really no point saying this again. But I forgive you, Always I do forgive you.
I'd have to say, like, his lyrics are just
just completely relatable, that there's no other type of music that's out there that's can relate to a person. I mean, when he writes, it's almost as he just completely views himself as still as Morrissey, not some celebrity, not some star, but he writes as a writer and not as a celebrity, and that's what makes him completely relatable and irresistible.
With a thorn in his side, behind the hatred there lies a murderous desire for love. How can they look into my eyes, still they don't believe me? How can they hear me say those words, still they don't believe me? If they don't believe me now, will they ever believe me? And if they don't believe me now, will they ever believe me? Oh, there lies a plundering desire for love. How can they see the love in our eyes, still they don't believe us? And after all this time, they don't want to believe us. And if they don't believe us now, will they ever believe us? And when you want to live, how'd you start? Where'd you go? If you need to know. Oh, no.
Loyal to us, man. He's always like here in LA. There's a lot of Latins in LA. He goes to Mexico City, his song Mexico, so it's like he's just devoted to us, just the same way we're devoted to him.
I personally don't exactly know why he has a special connection here to LA, but I just know it's basically his music. I don't know, maybe because of his background and our Latino background and stuff. It's like him being Irish in England and us being, Mexican American in the United States. Maybe there's some kind of a connection there. That's the only thing I could think of. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think it's one of those little mysteries.
He has been sort of the soundtrack of my life. As I've gotten older, I have family and children now, and my small children like Morrissey. My wife doesn't, but my children.
thank you, pretty much. Just thanks for putting out good music and giving us something to listen to throughout all our hard times and good times.
You hiss and groan and you constantly moan, but you don't ever go away. And that's because all you need is me. You roll your eyes up to the skies, mock horrified, but you're still here. All you need is me. There's so much destruction all over the world, and all you can do is sit there and complain about me. You bang your head against the wall and say you're sick of it all, yet you remain, because all you need is me. And then you offer your one and only joke, ask me what will I be when I grow up to be a man. Me? Nothing. There's a soft voice singing in your head. Who can this be? I do believe it's me. There is a naked man standing laughing in your dreams. You know who it is, but you don't like what it means. There's so much destruction all over the world, and all you can do is sit there and complain about me. I was a small fat child in a welfare house. There was only one thing I ever dreamed about. Fate has just handed it to me. Whoopee. You don't like me, but you love me either way. You're wrong. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You don't like me, but you love me either way. You're wrong. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm
His music is just part of, it's not just part of life, it's part of your soul, it's part of yourself, it becomes you.
In many ways, to quote him, there's songs that save your life, and it definitely has saved mine, and his music just makes sense, you know, like it's everyday things, you know, it's so ordinary and at the same time it's bold. It's things that people don't usually say in music.
Everything he says, everything you relate to certain songs and to certain lyrics that he goes through, it relates to each and
on a daily basis.
There's a song about everything. Everything that you go through, he has a song that you can relate to.
It's just like the truth.
I listened to some Latino music when I was younger, but I don't know Spanish. So it's not like I could understand it, but I knew that when they crooned, they put all their heart into it. And I think since Morrissey kind of sings like that, he croons and he puts all his heart into every lyric that he says, they'll think, oh, this reminds me of when I was in the kitchen and my mother was making tamales. It's kind of like that. It kind of makes you think like, feel like you're at home, I guess.
Why do you think you have such a big and loyal Latino fan base here?
I'm not sure why. I can only guess, and I think it's to do with passion, and I think also to do with crooning. in the sense that I think Latinos like traditionally the crooner, and I think I'm a crooner. As people ask me this question, I think there should be a specific reason why, and who can ever really know?
Do you think passion is something that identifies Latinos? There's a cliche about Latinos, but there's a certain heat in their blood. And
there's cliches about everybody, and everybody is a cliche of some kind. But yes, I think the Latino is very, very passionate and full of rhythm and full of blood and meaning and so forth. So yes.
There's a place in the sun for anyone who has the nerve to chase one, and I think I found mine. Oh yes, I do believe I have found mine. So close your eyes and think of someone you physically admire, and let me kiss you. Let me kiss you. Zigzagged all over America, and I cannot find a safety haven. Saying, would you let me cry on your shoulder? I've heard that you'll try anyone twice. Close your eyes and think of someone you physically admire, and let me kiss you. Let me kiss you. See someone that you physically despise, but my heart is open. My heart is open to you.
A few years ago, I saw that you did a concert with Jaguares in Anaheim, and I never would have guessed that an artist such as yourself would have mixed with Jaguares, which I mean they come from the 80s, but their music doesn't resemble in any way what you do.
No, but I think once again they have a very impassioned audience, and that's all that matters.
There's a Spanish artist called Mikel Erenchun, He did a Spanish version of There's a Light That Never Goes Out,
yes,
and every day is like Sunday.
Yes, I've met him. He's very nice.
What did you think of the Spanish versions? Because it must be weird to have done a song and then listen to it in another language, the way it sounds, the phonetics.
Well, it's actually very weird to hear a song that you've done in English. It's very weird to hear anybody else sing your song. But I thought his versions were beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I saw him play them live, and it was really stirring. But there's been a few, and I'm always mesmerized by them. And I don't even think in terms of good or bad. I'm just generally mesmerized and flattered that anybody could be bothered, really.
Okay, well, I'm Mexican, so my house, it's carne asada and beans all the time. So I respect him, and I respect anybody that follows it. But the way I see it, if you're born Mexican, it's gonna be hard to be vegetarian or, vegan or whatever. But I got great respect for him.
Do you think the world would be a better place if everybody was vegetarian?
Well, I think so, yes. I can't think of any negative aspects of vegetarianism. But all the aspects of being a carnivore are negative. There is nothing positive. And there has never been a good argument in the history of the world for eating animals. It's a shocking thing. It's a very violent thing. And it's a very, very violent industry. And as long as this industry exists, the world will be a violent place, I think.
You look so tired, with your mouth slack and wide, ill-housed and ill-advised. Your face is as mean as your life has been. So crash into my You don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you, and I know a place where no one is likely to pass. Oh, you don't care if it's late, and you don't care if you're lost. And oh, you look so tired, but tonight you presumed too much, too much, too much. And if it's the last thing I ever do, I'm gonna get you. Crash into my arms, I want you. You don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you. don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you. Crash into my arms. I want you. You don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you.
In America, they don't let you see anything. You may attempt to watch a program and then it's commercials and an advertisement for something that's going to happen next week and next week, and they will never let you watch anything in peace. This is why HBO was such a revolution. They're always interrupting and stopping your train of thought, and whereas obviously in England and some European countries they just let you see the whole thing with no silly commercials and baby back ribs and flesh, chicken. No thanks.
Fast food nation.
Well, crap food nation. It would be okay if fast food was apples and oranges, which is very fast food, but it's a crap food nation. Let's make people ill.
Him being controversial, like, you know, he really goes, you know, beyond what usually pop artists nowadays do.
I love it when he says the Americans are sick of Republicans, and it's amazing because he's right, you know. This country, it's going downhill.
There will be elections next year.
Yes.
Do you have any idea who could be the best possible president of the US?
Well, I think it's a very difficult question, because if you're drawn to becoming the president, or if you're drawn to being a world leader, and leaders always mean bullies, they don't ever mean world poets. It's always somebody who can bully and who can be a terrorist. You have to be a terrorist in order to be a president. So the people who are attracted to politics are never good people. They're always people who are potentially terrorists, and you can see it in all the people who lead our countries throughout the world. They're never nice people, so it doesn't really matter in a way who wins the election, because I think the results are always the same. And you can look at the candidates and say, well, he's not bad and she's okay, but the results are always the same.
Must be wondering how the boy next door turned out. Have a care, but don't stare, because he's still there, lamenting. Police women, policemen, silly women, taxmen, uniformed. They who wish to hurt you work within the law. This world is full so full of crashing doors, and I must be one, 'cause no one ever turns to me to say, take me in your arms, take me in your arms, and love me. You must be wondering how the boy next door turned out. Have a care and say a prayer, because he's still there, lamenting. Police women, policemen, silly women, taxmen, uniformed, educated criminals work within the law. This world is full so full of crashing doors, and I must be one, 'cause no one ever turns to me to say, take me in your arms, take me in your really lies beyond the constraints of my mind? Could it be the sea with fate mooning back at me? No, it's just more lockjaw pop stars thicker than pitch, nothing to convey. They're so scared to show intelligence, it might smear their lovely career. This world, I am afraid, is designed for crashing boards. I am not one, I am not one. You don't understand, you don't understand, and yet you can't take me in your arms and love me, and love me. Take me in your arms and love me, love me, love me. Take me in your arms and love me. Take me in your arms and love me. Would you do what you should do?
Morrissey, big with the Latino fans. People are always asking why. I would think probably for the same reason that he's big with non-Latino fans, is that he's just a great artist. I don't know why everybody seems so surprised that Latinos would like him. They like good music.
It's almost like he's singing modern day corridos. It's like he's telling the story of these kids' lives driving around, going around town, feeling like there's nothing really happening for them and they're an outsider, they're shut out. And I think it kind of makes sense to me. I think that, along with his vocal delivery, it just resonates with them.
I think that, Morrissey really expresses the drama and the human experience, and it's very genuine, and Latinos also are very emotional and sincere about their feelings and are not afraid to express themselves, and that they relate to him.
Kind of colors the spectrum with all the different emotions that you feel. And I think that for Latinos, to me that seems that's how Latinos live too, right on the surface.
I think they probably just identify with his honesty and the heartfulness of the lyrics that he writes. Some of them are ambiguous and open to more of an interpretation, and some others of them are quite straight to the point. But they're all from the heart and they're all very honest, and I think that's probably something that they identify with.
Say these days are mad, why don't you find out for yourself? Then you'll see the price very closely. Some men here, they have a special interest in your career. They want to help you to grow and then siphon all your dough. Why don't you find out for yourself? Then you'll see the glass hidden in the glass. You'll never believe me, so why don't you find out for yourself? Sick down to my heart, that's just the way it goes. Some men here, they know the full extent of your distress. They kneel and pray and they say, yourself, then you'll see the glass hidden in the grass. That seems come and go, for which you must allow. Sick down to my heart, that's just the way it goes. Up my mistakes, I know exactly what they are. And what do you do? Well, you just sit there. I've been stabbed in the back so many, many times. I don't have any skin, but that's just the way it goes. Cautionary tale.
Do you think an artist could save the world? What, maybe not one artist, but through the vehicle of music, songwriting. I mean, it's very powerful to be on stage and to use the instrument of the voice and to talk to thousands of people at the same time.
But I think it is music, and I think it is artists who do save the world. It isn't politicians. It isn't the police. The police don't save the world.
But isn't it a kind of politic? To say what you think on a stage?
I think any kind of action is politics. So certainly singing is very political, because you literally have total freedom, and this doesn't happen anywhere else in life with anything. So this is why people who are in music are watched very closely by so-called authorities. And but there's not really anything that people can do, because once you go in the studio and you create your song and there it is and it's released, then it's up to the world, and the world will hear it if they want to. So I think music, rock and roll, however you wish to term it, is policed and watched very carefully, because it's the only freedom, I think, on the planet.
And do you think it's being censored in a way today? Because like in the 60s, it was the social glue that really gathered a whole generation to stand up before the status quo.
Yes.
But
I think it's censored as much as it can be, but I think it's also understood that if you try to gag something too openly, then it draws more attention to it. So I think it's all very discreetly done.
Is pop part of the status quo today?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's a sense of freedom, I think.
Thank you very much.
I just wanna say I haven't been away. I am still right here where I always was. because you can do. Only if you want to. I just wanna say I haven't been away. I am still right here where I always was. So one day if you're bored, by all means call me, because you can do, but you might not get through.